Hey there, it's Carrie Rhoades here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. In today's card making video, we're going to have lots of fun with our Freezin Season Mug add-on die set, but I'm not putting them on mugs, and we're making 3 shaker cards. So here's the Freezin Season add-on die set. There is a penguin, a reindeer, and a melty little snowman meant to go on this Beary Cute Mug die set. There's also a cat and dog add-on you can get for the mug, and I have made some very cute mug cards. I will link that video at the end of this one. But today, I'm going to start out with this Popsicle die set. There's also a coordinating stencil set for that. That's very cool. And I am going to be using this hot foiling set on all my cards today. It is a snowflake die set. It's so cool. So let's jump into card number 1. I'm making 2 slimline cards and a shape card today. So this is 8.5 by 3.5 inch panel that I am cutting my popsicle from. I already die cut the popsicle stick so I could use it as a reference. And that window there is going to be the window for my shaker. I didn't want to have to worry about hot foiling where the window was and, you know, wasting foil or cutting away. I wanted the plain popsicle to maybe use another time. Now, normally you would kind of tape your hot foil plates down, but that wasn't going to work with so many loose pieces. I didn't want to do one snowflake at a time. So I cut a piece of copy paper to 8.5 by 3.5 inches, and I'm going to put the snowflakes on this. It's going to be a reference for me to line up my paper and also place my plates where I want them to go. I can use my red panel as a reference and bring that in, and I can just arrange them exactly how I want them to go on my panel. So the foil I'm using today is white foil. I'm putting that face down onto those plates, and then my red cardstock. I'm going to push the timer, and then I'll add my plates to the top of that. I don't need a shim because the shim's kind of already on the bottom, that copy paper. I had to be super careful when removing this from the dock, running it through my die machine and putting it back so I didn't get over foiling. And I am in love with the white hot foil on red cardstock. Now all I do for the second pass through to get the rest of my card front panel is to turn my cardstock so I'm hot foiling the bottom piece. I did rearrange my plates a little bit, and I just could not love this background anymore. It's fabulous. Okay, we're flipping that over, adding some glue and putting down a window sheet, and then I have some foam tape that I'm putting all the way around that popsicle shaped opening. I'm going to make my own shaker embellishment mix with some white clay snowflakes, some white clay sprinkles, some black clay sprinkles. Whew. And I happen to have some black mica flakes that are from a distress holiday release, like a Halloween release. I put some of those in there. I think I put white mica flakes in there too, or the normal clear ones, and then a little bit of micro beads. Then I added a little glue to my foam tape, so if I needed to move around the backer piece, which is just black cardstock, I could do that. So there you can see that amazing shaker mix inside what is going to be my penguin shaker. So I have die cut that main piece for the penguin from some white glitter cardstock. I put tape runner on the back of it and also liquid glue again so I could move it around if I wanted. The little pieces that die cut out his cheeks and his beak, I'm going to color up with some Copic markers, and then I can easily put a little glue and drop the pieces in. Just some quick and simple paper piecing. You could always run this again through with some colored cardstock. Then I'm going to add that popsicle stick right there at the bottom of the popsicle, and I needed this to just kind of stand out a little bit more from my background. So I'm going to do something like completely crazy, but I'm saying if you have a crazy idea, I always feel like you should try it. So I went around this whole popsicle with some glue, and then I added some black glitter. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but black glitter makes me so happy. I love it. I love it so much. It is not just for Halloween. It is for Christmas too. Look at this penguin. This is going to make this popsicle really stand out from that background, you know, once I get rid of all this excess glitter. I found that I could easily like wipe it away with my finger and then wipe my finger on a baby wipe. And I did use like a little bit of a brush to help move it, and you know, eventually it just calmed down and I was able to get rid of the excess glitter. All right, so this is the mini winter greetings die set. So the words are die cut out into single letters and then fit onto a shadow layer. I like to back my cardstock with rip and stick sheets, and then I have sticker letters. Now you can lay the die that cuts out the letters onto the die cut shadow layer, press them together, push on the little openings in the die, and it transfers the letters right on there. Thank you, Lauren Taylor, who's also on the Trinity design team, for that tip. I am doing it all the time now. It's my favorite new technique, little tip. So thank you for that, Lauren. I absolutely love this die set. I've been using it on pretty much all my cards lately. There's so many different sentiments that you can use, like holiday greetings, snowflake kisses, just so many fun things. So here I'm going to do warm hugs. Now I am doing some more rip and stick sheets, but I put them on the front of this black fun foam. So it's going to be a sticker, but the sticky part is on the front, and that way I can stick it like it's a foam square to the word hugs and the word warm, because I don't have any black foam squares. So I kind of made my own, and then these are going to be popped up and you're not going to see that white foam underneath. So, and then I just glued those in place, and now I am bringing in this super cute die set that has all these different shaped tags. I'm going to make a black tag and a red snowflake, but in the end I decided I think I like a white tag better, so I die cut that one as well, and I'm going to put this right on my popsicle stick with a bit of red and white baker's twine, which happens to be one of my favorite things for Christmas time. I feel like I want to put it on everything. So I'm going to tie it onto this little popsicle stick here. Now, if you haven't seen my videos where I took the cat and the dog add-on and I made a dog popsicle shaker, that card is so stinking cute. You're going to want to make sure and check out that video as well. I will try to link that one at the end of this video. There's a pop-up at the end of the video where you can click on videos to watch next. I will put that there for you as well. All right, so we're going to glue this down to a card base that is actually 8 3/4 by 7.5, scored at 3 3/4. Now I know that is a little bit bigger than our standard size slimline card, but you should know, if you buy a business-sized envelope, like a legal envelope, this size card will easily fit into that envelope. So sometimes your thing that you're making on your card just needs to be a little bit bigger, and so I definitely do that a lot, make my cards a little bit bigger, and it works out great. So you should give it a try. All right, so that completes our penguin popsicle slimline shaker card. We're going to move into this melty little snowman, and we're going to put him on top of this ice cream cone. I'm also going to be using some double scoop paper. I love this paper pad because it's like cake and ice cream cones and sprinkles. It's so fun. All right, so I've got my cone. I have got my little drizzly piece, but that ice cream scoop is going to be our shaker window. Before we move into that, we're going to hot foil the snowflakes, this time using some red sparkle foil. I'm going to do the same thing I did where I used that piece of copy paper, and that's going to help me line it up. Now you see here I'm using a piece of tape. If I had some over foiling, because I actually had to go tend to my dog being sick, I forgot that this was on my hot foil machine, so it got super hot and I had a little over foiling. If you use really low tack tape, you can pick up some of that, it's kind of where the foil just leaves a little extra down, not where the foil, the hot foil plate like scoots over and makes a double image, but that kind of bubbled up foil, just pick it up with a piece of tape. I learned that from when I was on Stamp Wars, and I love that tip. So I've glued down my ice cream cone cut from patterned paper, and then I die cut out my ice cream scoop, creating my shaker window. Now this piece of cardstock is also 8.5 by 3.5, and you can see there's barely going to be room for me to put foam tape around this shaker. I am using the foam strips from Trinity Stamps. I will tell you two things I love about these. They're thin, so I can make this into a shaker card even though I don't have very much room. The other thing is they are so bendy. If you peel off the backside, oh my word, they just go around any curve you want them to. Okay, we're moving on to the shaker part. I'm making a little mix here, starting with the summer snowman. It's already a mix itself. It's got hats and carrot noses, some clay snowflakes, some confetti, and I'm going to add some mica flakes and of course the microbeads. I have a ton of them and I'm just going to mix that around. Then I'm going to add glue to my foam strips only because I like the choice, the ability to be able to move my pattern paper around if I need to. Now, a little bit of my foam tape was kind of like peeking out on the edge, but I was able to take my pickup tool and just kind of press that in. And then I made sure that I went back and pressed down on the card itself so I didn't have any of my shaker bits able to escape, and it hit it really well. Okay, now let's talk about our melty little snowman. It's going to go on this drizzle, which I die cut from white glitter paper. And then all the snowman pieces are from that Freezin Season mug add-on. If you make the mug, you would put the little melty snowman on the whipped cream of your, mugged beverage. But here we're adding it to this drizzle and it makes me love him even more. It is so much fun. So he's got his little twig arms, he's got his eyes, a mouth, his hat, and there's even a carrot nose. Now, the die that cuts out the eyes and the mouth also cuts out the carrot nose. I just die cut it again from white glitter paper, colored that up with some orange Copic marker, and it's good to go. I also backed that with rip and stick sheets so I could easily make it a sticker and stick it right down. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but when I die cut out the ice cream scoop, it could have come down a hair and there's a little bit of red paper showing. So to kind of hide that or mask it, I brought in my Copic markers and added some shading to the cone itself, and it kind of, hides the fact that there's red paper there, and it does the trick. Yeah. Okay, for the sentiment, I'm bringing back that same die set, the mini winter greetings, and this one is going to say, let it snow. I've got white shadow layers with red glitter letters on top. I'm using that same method where you put the die down, you press it to the shadow layer, and then sometimes you just got to poke out or remove those fallout pieces like the center of an O. I popped those up with some foam tape, and it is so cute. Oh my gosh, I love the Let It Snow in here. I always like to do, when I have sayings like this that have multiple pieces, I like to do the top, the bottom, and then the middle for easy spacing. All right, I am adding this to another slimline size card base that is 8 3/4 by 7.5, scored at 3 3/4, and it will fit in a legal size envelope, I promise. All right, so we're adding some Tic Tac white hearts to this one. I added the black licorice ones to the penguin card, so I thought it'd be fun to just throw some more hearts on here for a little bit of a fun embellishment. So there is card number 2. Oh my word, I have to know which one is your favorite. It's really hard for me to decide because then there's this card, the shape card. We're going to make a reindeer popsicle shaker shape card. All right, I have a folded in half piece of red cardstock. I'm die cutting this so the left-hand side of the die is off of the paper, and that's where the scored line is. So this is going to turn the popsicle into a card. We're going to be able to open this, and it's mini and it's cute and it's delicious. Yeah. All right, now I'm hot foiling the background. So this is the piece that fell out of the first card, that penguin card. I'm going to hot foil it again with the same snowflake hot foil set, the red sparkly hot foil. The only thing is it's not going to show up very much in the finished card. We'll get to that in a moment, but I wanted you to see how I die cut out that popsicle shape with the printer paper so that I again would have a little bit of a reference on where to set this. And remember to be super careful when removing that platform and putting it through because there's not really tape there to hold it down. Now this die set for the popsicle has this really fun die that has that split look, and that's what I die cut out from some red glitter cardstock, added it to a window sheet which I die cut from the base layer of the popsicle, and I thought about cutting around that excess window sheet, but for some reason I just decided it looked fine. I was going to leave it because I'm going to layer it up onto that popsicle piece that has the hot foiled snowflakes on it. And I think it's fine, but I would love to know your thoughts. You tell me what you think. Is it too much? Now, here's a thing. I had so much fun with these sprinkles and the little Bubblemint candy clay pieces and mica flakes and all the things. I am going to really fill this up. Sometimes I don't put enough shaker bits in, and I wish that I'd added more. So I think I overcompensated on this one because it is full. It is a full shaker, and therefore you barely see the hot foiled snowflakes in the background. But you know, you could just put less if you wanted your hot foiled snowflakes to show up nicely. All right, I am going to glue that down with my card base, and it is going to fit on there perfectly because we use the same die for the card base as we did for the card front. And then for my popsicle stick, there's actually two layers. There's a solid layer that's a little bit smaller than the layer that cuts the popsicle stick with the wood grain. I did that base layer with some glittered fun foam, just like I did with this head for the deer. And then I layered the popsicle stick with the wood grain on top of that to make it a little bit more sturdy. To make the antlers more sturdy, I just did them 2 layers thick. So I ran it through 4 times, or really I ran each die through twice, and then glued them together because there is an antler for the right side and an antler for the left side. All right, here are the little ears, and the nose I die cut from some red mirror cardstock and put that right down at the base of his little face piece with some foam squares. And then it has the cutest little winking eyes with eyelashes, which I did from black glitter cardstock. I'm going to do another little tag for this guy, same white tag with a red glitter snowflake. I'm adding that on with a glue dot, and it's already tied to that same red and white baker's twine because I love it. And this turned out so darn cute. For this one, I'm going to put the saying on the inside, and the red paper that I'm using for the letters is the Trinity Stamps Glossy Red, and I backed it with the rip and stick sheet so I could easily stick it down, and it's so quick and so easy to line up those letters. You will not want to use anything else but this die set for all your sentiments. So this one says season greetings, and then there's room to write or sign your name, and you could even stick a gift card on that left hand side when you open it, which I think would be a really fun way to use this little shape card. So here's all 3 of the cards. You got to tell me which one's your favorite. These were so much fun to make. I like anything that's a critter, and I like anything that's related to food and when I am making cards. So these were like double the fun. Plus, shaker cards are my favorite. I always like to figure out new ways to make a shaker and incorporate them in most all my cards. Well, a lot of them anyway. So I just want to say thank you for stopping by the Trinity Stamps channel and letting me share this with you. And I hope that you will come join us on Instagram and Facebook too. Those are linked for you in the description box, as well as the products I used today. And I will see you guys all again very soon with a new video right here on the Trinity Stamps channel. So feel free to subscribe if you're new here, and you can ring the little bell, and YouTube will tell you every time we have a new video. I'll see you then. Happy stamping. Bye.